Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel, coming back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler videos, series of videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat the stuff, I drink stuff, then I talk about the stuff. I let you know all that you need to know, folks. Please believe me. About the things that I'm going to try. While I'm doing so, I got Pecan Thunderbolt looking over my shoulder disapprovingly, as he should do. This isn't a thing you should be doing with your time. I mean, unless it is, maybe you're another food review person, in which case, presumably, you do a better job than I do. That's just statistically a thing. I've also got crappy old ladder off to the side. I bet you don't have one of those in your videos, though. Ho, ho, ho. I'm also wearing a cool shirt. Got the Wild Arms 2 shirt. Still rocking that. Excellent old video game. If you like RPGs, specifically turn-based stuff from back in the day, give it a shot. I really like it. I've also got this cool bracelet made by my friend China McCoy. He's a movie star, stuntman, martial artist, comic book dude, all-around incredible individual, and he also makes these to order. So if you happen to be interested, let me know, and I can go over there and try to put you in touch with him. And if he's still selling them, I don't know. I haven't seen him bring it up in a little while. But if he is, there you go. Anyway, folks, what am I trying for y'all today? Well, we're going to do a twofer because I don't want to do 2 videos. Boom! We're doing Hammond's candy bars. We got bourbon pecan pie, sorry. And then I've got pigs and taters, hence the bacon aspect of it. Milk chocolate with bacon-flavored bits and potato chips, and then we got milk chocolate with bourbon pecan caramel filling. This isn't the first time I've done Hammond's. I've done Hammond's, I think like maybe 3 or 4 other ones from Hammond's. They have a bunch of stuff. They also have like more normal ones. But where's the fun in that, folks? Who would just eat normal chocolate like a normal person? No. Bacon and potato chips. So, but if you're interested, I did videos for those, so go ahead and check those out. I'm going to try these out, folks, because, of course I am. I'm also late in the day. I mean, it's still sunny out and everything like that. I haven't slept yet since working last night. And on top of that, I've done a shitload of these reviews, so I'm all filled with all kinds of things, so shit might get a little bit wacky, but I'm down to this one other one, and I might, if I have the fortitude, might do a drink. Anyway, let's try some stuff, folks. Let's try some stuff. Yeah, we'll see. Here's the only thing I just noticed, because I bought this a little while back. It's a little bit out of date, like a couple months. But I'm guessing it'll probably still be okay. Like, that's the best buy date, so... But if, like, Weevils come out of it, then we're out. I'm not reviewing the Weevils. But I think it'll be perfectly fine. And look! It's chocolate bar. And I will say, I appreciate, like, big branded chocolate bars, like Hershey's and what have you. You know, they tend to have, like, this very similar style. But I'll give Hammond's credit because although they are using, fairly generic mold, they've got their H logo. So I appreciate the extra bit of flair, Hammond's. Let's try some pigs and taters. I'm trying these first because I think the bourbon pecan pie is going to be more palatable. Chocolate's still soft. The chocolate's really good. It's like a light milk. Nothing too dark or overly fancy, but it tastes good. It's interesting, as one might assume. It very much has the sweet and salty aspect going on. Which sounds, it's like, yeah, okay, it's got potato chips and bacon stuff in it. That would make sense. I'm just explaining that the thing that makes sense because it is what it is. Go with me on it, folks. So, it also has some interesting texture. The chocolate itself is very light. It's almost fluffy. You can kind of see. Then periodically you do get like these little crunchy, almost nougat-esque bits of potato chip in there. They're not quite as palatable as nougat, just because nougats are typically like little, like Rice Krispie type things. These are potato chip shards, so every now and again it's a little bit sharp in the mouth, but not too bad. It's just kind of weird in a potato chip. But it's not bad at all. The only thing I'm somewhat failing on is the bacon aspect. I get that they wouldn't want to go over there and overwhelm the flavor with the bacon. That could be very... Chocolate and bacon go together really well. That's a goddamn thing. But, obviously, if you do too much one way or the other, you can end up kind of ruining it. In this case, I think they could have gone a little bit more. Because when it teams up with the potato chip aspect, it just kind of becomes like an overall sort of saltiness, and you just get salt and chocolate, which is still good. Obviously, salted chocolate's a thing. I mean, there's a little bit of sort of a almost smoky bacon taste to it, a little bit. But it sort of comes in between the creaminess of the chocolate and then the saltiness of everything else. It's kind of there and then it goes away. Yeah, it's kind of a dueling thing. Like, it does taste good. I will say that. I just think the little bit more bacon aspect of it would have made it more interesting. Now, maybe it wasn't a couple months out of date. I don't know. But for what it was, I still enjoyed it, actually. In fact, I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to be strictly more novelty. But it kind of just came off as like sort of a, salted chocolate bar. Which, again, salted chocolate's a thing. So, in that regard, it was actually really nice. The potato chip aspect of it, I'm a little bit hit or miss on. I don't mind the texture entirely. But again, just the fact that it's like these little pointy shards, I don't know that I'm huge on. Like, I both like and dislike having them there. I'd rather have them there overall because I do think it adds to the overall eating experience. It adds another level of texture, but if they could have figured out a way to make it work with the nougat, I think it would have worked a little bit better. Anyway, let's do the bourbon pecan pie before I explode and die. Same thing. It's a little bit out of date. This sounds exceptionally good to me. I love me some pecan pie. That is one of the best pies in my opinion. Underrated. Like, you usually see it around like Thanksgiving. And you got, it's Thanksgiving. I mean, I don't know other folks what they do, but typically in the households I've been, you get like your pumpkin pie. You get your like your apple pie, generic fruit pie. And then there's pecan. And, like, I feel like it's always kind of like the second or third place winner, Like, if pumpkin's there, people are going for pumpkin. Got pumpkin and apple, people are going for pumpkin and apple. Pecan's a little bit more of a specialty pie. It's the one that, like, folks like me gravitate. And mind you, I love some pumpkin, I love some apple, but let's see a chocolate bar. It smells, I mean, I've had bourbon. I haven't had enough bourbon to go over there and be like, oh, that's definitively the smell of bourbon. but it does smell alcoholic-y, so of a, you know, whiskey bourbon type variety. Give it a shot. This one's thicker. The other one was fluffy. This one's very solid. I think the way they did it, it looks like they filled the inside with whatever flavoring. I guess the bourbon pecan. I am super down with these. I like these a lot. I've had other chocolate bars that have incorporated, you know, some sort of alcohol flavoring. I had one that was like whiskey and honey or some shit like that. And it typically actually works really well, but obviously you have to be smart with it. If you do too much, it can overwhelm. In this case, I think they just absolutely nailed it. The chocolate is, I will say, I think like in the other one, I think the chocolate was kind of a highlight. In this one, it's kind of the weaker element. It really is just a nice platform for everything. It's still good, but I prefer the fluffierness of the other one versus the more rigid on this. But you're almost immediately hit with like this nice kind of like very light bourbon flavor. And like I said, I mean, I'm not bourbon expert McBrandon, but you know, I'm familiar with the flavor. And like it builds. Starts off as this very low thing, and it just increases. And then once it gets to the point where it's almost a little bit too much, almost, then it comes in with that like sweet, delicious, kind of like almost earthy pecan pie taste. And you know, it's almost like a molasses kind of taste. You know, it's very rich and very sweet. Like this whole thing, that's a good way to describe it. Like it's very rich tasting overall. It's one of those things where like I like it a whole lot. I wouldn't anyway, but it's definitely not something where I could eat like a bunch of them in a row because there's a lot going on. It's very flavorful. It also leaves a very, 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 very light burn in your mouth, which I'm guessing is from the bourbon aspect of it. It's not super duper present, but it's enough to be noticeable. I really like this. I like the other one too. This one though, I'm genuinely down for. Like if I believe I got these at a place called Rocket Fizz. They're a candy and soda shop, and they have all kinds of weird specialty stuff, international stuff. I've done plenty of stuff from their store. I really need to check and see if they're still around. It's been a while since I've been out that way. But yeah, if typically when I go and I get stuff there, I'll go over there, I'll get myself like a 6-pack of soda, and I'll just pick out interesting sodas, some of which might make it onto the show. Usually I just drink them, and then I usually check the candy stuff to see if there's anything interesting. And, you know, I'll usually grab like 1 or 2 things and I'll do them on the show. This is one of those things where if I saw this there again, I would just pick it up just for the enjoyment of it because it's really good. I like this so much. I'm not going to eat another piece because I'm going to explode very soon. But, yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I liked both of them, and I like both of them for different reasons. Like I said, I think the Pigs and Taters one, a little bit disappointed with the bacon aspect. I think they could have done a little bit more. But I like the fluffiness of the chocolate. I really thought the chocolate would stand out in that one. And I like the saltiness of it. The potato chip texture was a little bit hit or miss, but I appreciated it overall. This one is just super good. It is definitely neither of them are for everybody. Nothing is for everybody. But if you're like somebody who enjoys like chocolates and stuff like that, this would be the one that I would recommend, the bourbon pecan pie, because the other one, I think, again, salted chocolates and caramels and stuff are a thing. It's a pretty prominent flavor in it, and I think it could throw some people off if you're expecting, just sweet chocolate. And then there is the texture aspect of it to kind of compete with. With this, yeah, it's not going to be for everybody because it's just interesting, and I think that some people just aren't going to be down for that. But for what it is and how it tastes overall, I really like this one. So I would say if you happen to run into them, or maybe you can order them online, I don't know. This is one, if you want to try some of their Hammond stuff, I would put this one on the list personally. The other one, sure, but that one I would be more take it or leave it. I wouldn't go out of my way to get another one, but I enjoyed the one that I had. Okay. So, 5 things before I get out of here, folks. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. If you could go over there and have yourselves a truly bourbon pecan pie rest of your life, folks, because that is some stellar-ass pecan pie. Is bourbon pecan pie like a thing, or was that just words that they put together? I'm going to have to look that up. If that's a real thing, because like now my brain is like, that has to be a real thing, right? I think that's a real thing. If that's the case, then I'm going to have to go over there and either learn how to make it myself. That probably won't happen. More likely, I'll go over there and suggest it to like maybe one of like my friend's moms or something like that. I can maybe suggest to my mom, she can make some bomb-ass pies. More of a cake person, but she makes really good food. But I don't know how much goes into like a pecan pie, and I don't know if she's into pecan pie, but whatever. I'm gonna see. Oh, yeah, well, we'll see how things go. Anyway, final 2 things before I get out of here, folks. Number 1, sorry, folks, I'm struggling a little bit. Number 1, try to bring some positivity to the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what do you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time, folks. Here's what you do. You try not to be an asshole. I believe in you, folks. You can do it. Mitigate the level of assholishness in your lives. And when you do, when you're done, you can go over there, you can make me a bomb-ass bourbon pecan pie. I will try it and presumably like it. The final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Maybe you're going to go over there and make a bourbon pecan pie. You're going to go over there, you're going to try it, it's going to be amazing. You're going to enter it into pie contests, and people are going to love your pie so much. You go over there, you make a cookbook all about pecan pies, then maybe I go over there and I get that pecan pie book for, somebody I know who is more adept at cooking things than I am. And then they go over there and they make the thing, and then I try it, and it's delicious. It's the circle of pie. That wasn't too bad, right? Like, I'm listening to that back. I'd like to be able to sing, and I don't know. I think I have certain octaves where I can kind of keep my voice at a reasonable pitch, but then at the same time, I might just be hearing shit. So, or conversely, you could go over there and do something else, like go over there and join a band or something like that, music and such. Who doesn't like music? I like music. Bye.